Guys, it started so well, but it's not going so good. Today in the live stream, we talked about this 50 moving average, the yellow line on the chart, how important it is to stay above it and close above it. So I was saying we need to give it like 16, 17 more hours until we close above the chart, above the 50 moving average before we start the party. Now, I don't think there will be party right now. What's happening right now, I'm going to explain to you. It does look a little bit bad and it can get worse. And I'm going to explain to you why and what I'm looking at. So this yellow line, this is the 50 moving average. As you can see here previously, we tried to break that, failed that, right back down again. We tried to get above here, we failed that, right back. And right now we are failing again. I said also that if we can manage to get above the 50 moving average and stay above that 50 moving average, this is gonna probably be very nice bounce towards the upside. So, we already kind of pre-started the party, but right now after this move towards the downside, it does not look that good. So let me explain to what I mean by that. Let's pop rest of the moving averages on the chart. And what you're going to see here on the daily time frame, that this pump, this yesterday's pump on the CPI news came only towards the 20 moving average. We technically did not break any moving averages on the daily time frame when we came towards the upside. We only came up to the resistance. That's the first warning sign. The second warning sign is right now that after we came up here towards the up, right now we are pulling back and we are still below that level again. We are still below the moving average. We still haven't broken the moving averages towards the upside. So I started thinking a little bit, maybe, just maybe, maybe this looks a little bit bad. So I'm gonna give you a bad scenario, unfortunately, and if this goes below this line on the downside, down here, you can see here, down here, if this goes below the this line on the downside, it might just get bad. I'm gonna explain to you why. Now, before I do that, let's just go to the 4-hourly time frame. You're gonna see here right now that we are holding, some kind of less support before we actually get below that. That's the 20 moving average up here, the red line, that's the 20 moving average. We went above the 200 moving average in the 4-hourly, managed to get back below that, failed to get back above that, continued on the downside, dumped down to the 10 moving average, and right now we are sitting on some kind of less support. That's the 20 moving average. Up here is the previous slowdown up there, you can see. And as soon as we start breaking towards downside up here and also below the previous lows down over here, we might already see some kind of big dump towards downside, and this dump might actually go to 17.6k. Let me show you why. So let's go back to the daily time frame and let's remove the moving averages just for a second up here and put the line down here, the very important support line down here at exactly 19k. Also, if you go to the 4-hourly time frame, you'll see that this line also corresponds very nicely, almost very nicely, with these bottoms down here. So once you start breaking those levels on the downside, it's gonna look bad. So why is it so bad? Well, guys, I don't know. This to me looks like a head and shoulders pattern, guys. Head and shoulders pattern. Depends on where you draw it, something like this up here. Head and shoulders pattern. And this looks more to head and shoulders pattern than other head and shoulders pattern I've seen people show me. This is actually, looks like a legit head and shoulders pattern. Up here you have a move, try to get up to upside. You fail that, that's fine. You hit some kind of support. You have a second move up here, try to get up above certain levels, you fail that, that's fine. And this is like the third move where we try to get up above certain levels. If we fail this right now and we go below this support on the downside, we might see just a dump down. And now the technical target of the of the head and shoulders pattern, it's something like this up here and towards downside. What you're gonna see down here is that this is target at 17.6k. And where is this 17.6k and why is it very important? Well, let's just zoom in up a little bit and use this very bottom wick of the bottom wick. And what you're gonna see here right now, it is at 17.6. So this in head and shoulders pattern up here, if it fails on the downside, we just might see again a dump below 18k to 17.6k. And this is a real probability, guys. This is a real probability. And the thing that's getting me worried about that this can be actually real probability is because this move towards the upside is kind of failing. We are holding some kind of support and we need to still kind of bounce, but we are kind of failing. Bulls are not as strong as I actually thought they were. They are still pressured towards the downside, and you can see down here, if we actually go down to 17.6k, there is a lot of liquidity down here, guys. There is a lot of liquidity, especially below these bottoms down here. So I would say in this area down here, there is a lot of liquidity, because a lot of people that, you know, took long positions up here, over here, even here, up here, you know, took long position up here. They put their stop losses below these lows down here. I mean, some smart people maybe put down here, but most people, I would think, especially in this area over here, put their stop losses down below these lows. So if you go down to the 17.6, we're gonna get into this liquidity area down here and pick up everything, and then maybe just then we're gonna have this, you know, spring towards the upside. So maybe this spring right now that's happening up here is gonna fail, and I cannot say whether this is gonna fail or not. We just have to keep on watching the charts. Like we said, we have this you know, 20 moving average support up here. We got this previous load up here as a support, but the failure of this move towards the upside, not getting above the 20 moving average up here, you know, not sorry, 200 moving average, failing for the second time, failing for the third time, right now losing everything, right now holding the support, it can definitely, you know, for some reason go towards the upside, but it does look very, very weak. Also, let me show you one more line before we go, and that line is up here on the 4-hourly time frame, and we talked about this line before a lot. Where is the line? Something like this up here. Yeah, this is the line. And what you're gonna see on this line up here, that this was a support line for a long time, and then we crashed through that, retested that, tried to get it back, then dumped down. And you can see right over here how we nicely managed to get above the line, which was actually bullish, and there was a lot of resistance that got broken, and then we pumped towards the upside up here, right? But right now we are losing that line again, especially on this big candle up here, right below the line, and right now continuing dumping towards the downside. There are of course several other lines that might take as support, something like this up here. If you remember, we talked about this downtrend up here, so you might go down to maybe something, maybe 19k again. Maybe there is, you know, still some kind of hope that we're gonna bounce, because there is a support up here. So if we do bounce towards upside, it's gonna be nice, and then the everything is gonna be fine. We could be doing that. There is of course still bullish sentiment up here, and you know, this head and shoulders pattern does not have to break towards downside. We always say any kind of pattern can break towards both sides, can break towards upside and downside. Doesn't matter whether that's head and shoulders pattern, cup and handle pattern. Any kind of pattern can break down and play out, or it can fail, right? It can be invalidated, right? So this move up here right now, if you go back down to these levels down here again, and there is a lot of buyers coming in here, keeping the price above 19k, and we bounce up here, then this gets invalidated, right? This pattern gets invalidated, and we can actually continue towards upside. So there is that. So what I'm looking for is this 19k level, you know, whether we're gonna break the 4-hourly below, whether that's gonna be bad or good. Are we actually gonna go down 17.6 again? As you saw, head and shoulders pattern is pointing down there, you know, and the failure of this move towards downside, because I don't think this this big move towards downside was supposed to happen. Like if you look at it on the 4-hourly time frame, any kind of move down here would, you know, maybe hold some kind of levels up here and then, you know, bounce or something like that. That would be very, very bullish. On 1-hourly time frame up here, this move towards downside, but you know, you would expect, you know, some kind of 200 moving average on 1-hourly to hold or something like that, but we are still falling down. So at least down to 18k again, I think. But after that, if we start breaking those levels on the downside, we might see you know, 17.6 or something like that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope, you know, 19k holds, but you know, that's the only thing we can do. We can only, you know, look at the charts and analyze, you know, what's the next move, you know, probability for the next move towards upside and downside. And right now it looks kind of, you know, sketchy to say the least, but there will be a party as soon as we break certain levels, 50 moving average on the daily time frame. Guys, there will be a live stream party. If you want to join a live stream party, you got to click the notifications button, because you are not getting notifications without a button. You're not getting notifications without a button. That said, guys, thanks for stopping by. Hit the like button and also join KuCoin if you want to get gems. Guys, you know, you don't buy gems at the top, you buy gems at the bottom. Then they go to the top and then you sell. I'll see you around, guys. Bye-bye.